Welcome back to Jewish Uncensored. Today we have a short clip from one of my favorite speakers, Rabbi Jacobson, a great educator, on our claim to the land of Israel, given at a recent event where he was a keynote speaker. And I think it's just a very important message, and really gets back to the basics of what we need to speak out when we're talking about our stake to the land of Israel. Definitely is a message that really touched me. I hope it gets to you the same way as it did to me.
And finally, as we live in a world where sadly, the great tragedies of our times, happen through the most vicious of anti-Semites, but even more sad that it was Jews themselves who resurrected the enemy, even if they had good intentions.
I think it's just referring to some of the terrorists we actually brought back. You know, as we know, Yahya Sinwar was released from prison and brought back to Gaza, and then he planned what he planned. So I think he's referring to those kind of incidents.
And they did not realize what they were doing. They did not realize, as a Navi Hashem pleaded with prime minister after prime minister after prime minister after prime minister, with every man of influence in Israel, every concession of territories, even talk of concession, every compromise, every demonstration of weakness is not creating peace. It's creating a piyalidoris, a catastrophe of generations. And it's here again where the Rambam can heal the Jewish people and heal the world. Because the Rambam was telling the Jewish people, Oz leoi evoish, bahabiti el kol mitzvaysecha. Stop being embarrassed with who you are, with what you are, with what your vision is. Speak to the world the truth. Tell them that this is one piece of land that the creator of the world gave to his eternal people as an eternal inheritance. It's not even ours to speak about, to negotiate, to give away. The world is craving for it's only the vision of the Rambam, the vision of Moshe the come to Moshe, the vision that in our generation the Rebbe sacrificed his entire life to inculcate in the masses, to be able to stand up to a world and say we have a mission to create a Welt into a Torah Welt of Loi Rov, Loi Milchama, Loi Kinen, Loi Tafus. Just
referring to one of the prophecies referred to in the prophets, saying that when the Messiah comes, there's going to be no more war, no more suffering, no more starvation. Just referring to that, and the knowledge of God will be filling the whole world.
The world respects Jews who can stand up with conviction, respecting their Judaism, their God, their history, their heritage, their roots. A non-Jew is not embarrassed to say, I'm ready to occupy a whole section of this land. And Jews, who God gave it to them, and gave it to Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, are afraid to say it. Comes the Rambam and says, there's a vision, there's a grand vision. Speak the truth to the world so they will listen. They respect you when you respect your God, when you respect your soul, when you respect your Torah.
Yeah, there you have it again, just like a very from the heart message, very powerful. And I think sometimes we get carried away with all the philosophizing and all the debating and arguing and online, especially with all the comment sections, and it just seems hopeless sometimes. The types of people you argue with there. You know, there is a time and a place for that. But I think sometimes we really need to take it back to the basics, and really, even for ourselves sometimes, because how many of us have read the Tanakh or and the prophets, and really seeing our connection throughout the generations to this land? And if we don't know it, how are other people going to believe us and understand that? So I think we really have to speak about this issue from where it all began, the fact that God took us out of Egypt to bring us to the land of Israel, and it's our land now because God gifted it to us. And really, he said he'd give it back to us after the exile is over. And guess what? The exile is over. We're back from Jews from Romania, from Europe, from South Africa, from India. My family's from India. Just all over the world, Jews are coming back to Israel. So it's amazing to see with our eyes. And yeah, so just some you can't solve the problems until you go back to the source. And I feel this is one of the source of the roots of the problems that we're dealing with all these people who are having the different claims against us, that we're occupiers, colonizers. We really have to take it back to that religious, biblical point of view, and knowing our history, like the rabbi was mentioning, and saying, no, this is our land. Take a look at the book, read it, and you'll see it's all there. So this would really pull out the rug from a lot of these anti-Zionists' claims that we don't belong there. So this weekend, I would suggest a little bit of homework. Pick up the book of Joshua and just read through the 24 chapters of it in English, Hebrew, whatever your preferred language is, and just really go through the history and why this land is the land of Israel, and why it belongs to us, and our connection to the land and to God through the Torah. And I think sometimes you just have to go back to the roots. So I just really found this video inspiring. So yeah, you're here with Jewish Uncensored. If you like the video, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you soon.